Hey folks, this is Les Skymo. You can also go on my other channel, Les Skymo. But this is me on my angle. And I just want to send my condolences to the Limbaugh family. Um for years, I had listened to Rush, and he passed away this morning. His wife announced his passing on his radio broadcast. And I just want to send my condolences to him because even what I do now, I stand on the shoulders of that great man. He was a great man, a great conservative. He never had no kids himself, but his brother had kids. He was a great uncle from what I hear. But my previous co-host on my unscheduled on my radio program turned me on to Rush Limbaugh. Uh, oh shoot, it was back in 1993, and I remember listening to a Rush's show the first time I started listening back in '93, and man, it was um, I fell in love with Rush the first time I heard him. And he's from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, as most of you probably know, and worked for the had several jobs, but he always knew he wanted to be in radio, and he become an icon. He become a towering champion of talk radio. Saved single-handedly, I think, saved AM radio. And but there was a caller one, and this is something I'll never forget. Rush had started a newsletter. That's $29.95, and a caller called in named Dan Kay, and he was from Colorado. And this was in 1993 in May. And so Rush offered him his newsletter, and Dan said, "Well, I can't afford $29.95 for your yearly. I think it's a yearly subscription." And so Rush suggested having a bake sale, and it took off like wildfire. There was restaurants and people donating food and all kinds of uh, uh, bake sale stuff, cakes and pies and brownies, you name it, to this event that happened up in Colorado. And here it is. Yeah, Dan Kay was from Fort Collins, Colorado. And that's where the bake sale took place. Over 25,000 people showed up at that bake sale. And I'm like, man, that's that was a huge bake sale. But anyway, that just caught on like wildfire and really catapulted Rush's career. And people remember Dan Kay to this day because of Rush Limbaugh and the bake sale. And I remember all that. And that was my first experience with Rush. And I fell in love with the guys. And I listened to him very often. I was an avid listener of Rush Limbaugh. And Rush, nobody could nail down the liberals and define them like Rush Limbaugh. Brilliant man, brilliant commentator. He had a brilliant mind. Was a writer. Had written so many things. A patriot above all. He was one of America's greatest patriots. And so, later I'll come on and do something down my path. But I just want to put my condolences out there to the Limbaugh family and, Rush. And one of the most important things, Rush on public radio announced to give his heart to the Lord, and he accepted Christ as his personal Lord and Savior. So, Rush, I'll see you again, my friend, and condolences to the family. Pray for them, folks. Pray for the Limbaugh family. It's a great loss. Anytime we lose a loved one, we know how we feel and the grief we go through. And but when somebody's a public figure like he is, it impacts millions and millions of people. So keep the Limbaugh family in your prayer. As I do this and the little things I do, I stand on the shoulders of that great man, Rush Limbaugh, the father of talk radio in my day. When I was growing up, we had the great Paul Harvey, was an icon of talk radio in his day. And I think Rush Limbaugh filled his shoes very well. And he would be proud of Rush. And they probably already met. So, hey, this is Les Scamo on my angle, and that's my angle on this. So, condolences to the Limbaugh family. I love you. God bless you. And I always like to consider Rush as a friend that I never met. Even though I never met him, there were so many things we had in common, as like a lot of his listeners. And but Rush, I'll see you again, old pal. And this is Les Scamo. God bless you. I love you. Share this around, folks. Help me out here. I'm not in this for the money. If I was, I would give it to my foundation, the Christopher Lee Foundation. And but anyway, I'll get into that maybe later on. I love you. God bless you. Jesus love you. It's Les Scamo. Until later on, I'm out.